from the understanding part, so far we were trying to understand how motivation works, different aspects like stages of motivation, or the type of motivation that we have, um, how we process motivation, or, what happens basically, even though we did not go too much deep into processing of information, and what happens. And we also looked at sources of motivation. So we were basically trying to understand how motivation works. But now look at some of the actions that we can take. And again, this is not a comprehensive list. And again, I'm not saying that this is the only list, or this is the only thing you can do. You can do so many things. But some of the information, if that appears to be very basic, please don't get offended. That is not a reflection of on how much you know. This is basically for people who do not find motivation anywhere else. And I'm just trying to reach out to people who feel that they don't have anything. So now the slides that you would see would be from that perspective. The 3 or 4 slides that we currently have or remaining. So I would say dare to dream and have faith or trust. Because if you do not do that, you are not raising or creating vibration. You're not releasing the energy out in the world that is there or responsible for making changes. Even if you so, even if you don't take actions, at least have this faith or trust. This is the least we can have. Even if you consider yourself that I cannot act, I don't have capability, I don't have people supporting me, I don't have money, I don't have someone loving me, I have people against me, my life is really bad. Nothing can stop you from having a trust either on your destiny or God or universe or creator or a person or whoever. This is the least one can have and one should have. We'll look at other aspect as well. I know having a faith is not easy. I'm just giving you different things one can do. So another thing you can do is either muster that much courage, create that much courage in yourself, or find someone else who can help you create that courage. Because ultimately we need to move from one place to another or act on it. So I will come to the movement part little later, which should actually be a motivating information as well. But remember this, the action triggers rapid reactions. So if you take actions, you can fast track the outcome. Though it is dependent on the kind of action that we take, whether the reaction is in favor of what we are trying to do or against what we are trying to do. But take action, consider taking actions. Either find that courage yourself, or find someone else. And I'll talk about some of these later on as well. So some of it might sound a little difficult, like how can I do that when I don't have anything? And dare to act, fail basically. Like I was saying, why do we expect everything to be perfect, and we only getting a positive thing and not getting negative thing? Many times we have seen failure actually is a stepping stone for many people. So if I tell you, um, like Thomas Edison example, many people know he failed thousands of times before he succeeded. Uh, if I tell a story of a basketball player, in his career he missed some 9,000 shots and lost 300 games, right? It itself tells the person had miserable career. He missed so many shots and lost so many games. 300 games he lost and 9,000 shots he missed. But do you know that person, who that person is? Michael Jordan, one of the most successful basketball player of all times. There are many such examples. We consider success only as success and accept only the positive outcome. But if you look around, you will see things which are not favorable helped shape us more. So just remember that. So dare to fail, I would say. The Chinese bamboo, I think that is something I've shared earlier as well. So Chinese bamboo is a form of bamboo which takes 5 years to show up from the earth. So you plant a seed and you have to nurture it for 5 years. You have to be regular and diligent, consistent about nurturing it. But for 5 years, it doesn't show even an inch. It is underground. Whatever happens stays underground. You can't see anything. But you have to have patience. Because when it shows up after 5 years, it grows up to 80 feet in actually less than 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks or so. 80 feet. But what happens is when we wait, especially if the period is 5 years, we give up. We think it is a gone case, it is a lost cause. Then our mind starts thinking of probability, likelihood, reasoning, all that thing. And when we have, then we have people saying, "Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you watering this space? It is a gone case. You're not going to get any plant now. Isn't it like 2 years or 3 years you've been doing this thing?" But guess what? Someone would have watered it for 5 years to realize. Like the barrier, 10-second barrier I was talking about. And then people knew it is possible. Now people know it is possible, so they are far more accustomed. But imagine a time when no one knew. Everyone would say it is not possible. All those people we know are around us, they will say it's not possible. Who we consider as authority or intelligent people, matured people, everyone will say it's not possible. And guess what? If you look at history, if you look at the information, you would find one after another example of mankind being able to do things which were considered impossible. And I'm not just talking about the big thing of changing lives, changing the mankind or face of the earth, or how humanity is gonna go from here. Even relationship, even small things as what I can do. So just remember that at times things take time to show up, but if my experience has shown something or told me something, that is this: if something is taking more time, it is going to give you a more juicy fruit. So the reward is going to be even better. I can say that from experience, I can say with all sincerity. Even though I'm not consider myself as really intelligent or matured or in worldly terms sensible, um, I can say with all honesty and all sincerity, pain happens for reason. Experiences, painful experiences happen for reason. And the more pain that you see, you will see greater rewards on the other side of the fence. Just remember that. If you, even if you are not able to do anything, because I'm going to come back to the movement part later on. So also remember this thing. If you do something, you might fail. But if you don't do anything, you will fail for sure. Many times we know this, that we might fail, but we say, I don't want to deal with another rejection. So we don't take action, even though we know that we have to take actions. So then we try finding things which can save us from taking some action, or some other ways of getting things, some enlightened people helping us, someone, some other ways, or the chinks in the armor, um, maybe God doing some miracle, or some enlightened soul doing some miracle, or someone um, doing something really out of the ordinary. Or we try to we receiving that information so that we feel completely comfortable, or our abilities are increased. So I'll tell you what the difference in mindset is. Typically is, we want to see the results before we can act. We want to be convinced of the result before we can act, versus we acting and making those results come true. So in a way, we increasing our capacity or capability, so that we can accept things. We try to accept things before our before increasing our capacity. I'll put it in a different way, simpler way. So I will say that I will expand myself if I have more. So I'm waiting for something, waiting to get more before I can expand myself. Versus I expand myself and creating more space so that something more can be given to me. That's exactly the difference in the mindset. I want to see the result first before something I can expand myself. I will act based on that, rather than I'm acting and expanding myself and getting things based on that. And when I'm waiting for things to show up before I act, it's basically I do not have any trust, I do not have any hope. And I say that I will only act if I see something. But at the same time, consider this, when I'm thinking that way, am I making my judgment based on the comprehensive understanding? Because unless we do something, we reach from one place to another, we don't realize many things. I'm basing my judgment based on the current information I have, and that may not be the complete information. And typically, that is the case. That is not the complete information. But when we act, we experience things differently, something triggers. When we increase our capacity, we get more. And life is like that. If I've understood one thing, that is this: you increase your capacity, and life shall give. If you can't remember anything else, just remember this. Let me repeat this. If you increase your capacity, life shall give. Even if life gives you what you want to get, or life gives you something, if you do not have capacity, it's gonna be wasted. You cannot consume it because you already have your space full. In order to enjoy something new, you need to create space. You create space and things will follow. I can guarantee that. You can come hold me accountable tomorrow if that doesn't work. But just remember that this is how life is, or universe is. So if you cannot do anything, meditate. If you cannot do anything, if you can't find hope, you can't convince yourself, you don't see anyone around you, if um, you don't have people, you don't have money, I guess you can meditate. Okay, someone commented on something. Let me just chat. Laura, she sent a um, statement from Henry Ford. If you think you cannot do a thing, think you can't do a thing, you're right. Or if you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. So basically, whether you think you can do things or you cannot do things, you are right. So why not think that you can do things? Thanks for that, Laura. So coming back to what you can do, if you cannot do anything, if you do not want to take action, you are afraid, you are scared, you have already had so much of pain, um, meditate. Maybe someday I'll explain how it works. But we have gone through meditation. What happens? The help from spiritual world, everyone knows. We have gone. We had that meeting where we discussed on meditation, but such a powerful thing. Even though you may not directly associate it with the outcome that you're trying to get. And I'm not just talking about manifestation here. I'm talking about taking you out from your current painful or miserable, whatever term you want to use, from that state to a different state, a happy state. If you cannot do anything, meditate. If you cannot meditate because your mind is not still, because you have so much of anxiety, depression, people not letting you have time or whatever, see if you can help others. And don't help others when you're helping others. You help in a way that you try to expect that you will get happiness. No. Better form of helping someone else is a selfless love for someone else's happiness. The joy that you get when you see smile on someone else's face. See if you can do that. I'll start with meditation. If you can't meditate, see if you can help others. And help doesn't mean giving someone money. I think the least we can do, I'll tell you some other forms of helping others. When we say help others, we typically consider other people. When we consider the whole universe to be having the same energy, we don't consider as animals, birds, insects. If you can't do anything, I'm sure you'll have food to eat. Give food to animals who don't belong to you, that is. I mean, obviously, if they belong to you, you will, in any case, be giving food. But even for like ants or birds, in India, actually, it's a practice, ancient practice basically, and many houses you will see they keep water on their roof just for birds to come and drink. You would find that here in the US as well. Many people before they eat, and they prefer sitting on the ground, on the floor, rather than dining table, and they put some food on the ground so that if there's any insects or any ant or something, they can eat. Those are not the practice because you have enough food. You're showing you have sufficient food. Even if you don't eat completely, um, you still have food. It is not a reflection on how much you have. It is building those practices where you are doing good karma for yourself of helping others. So see if you can help others, help people, help some bird, insect, any life. You give them food or do something good for them, or if not anything, plant a tree or water a tree, and you will say, Vikas, what are you talking about? We are talking about changing life and finding happiness or motivating ourselves, and you're talking about planting a tree or watering a tree or giving food to an insect or ant or whatever it is. Trust me, guys, it'll help. It'll help. And like I said, my focus is to get something that can help you or serve you beyond this life as well. And I'm not saying this will serve you beyond this life. By all means, it will serve you within this life also. So if you cannot meditate, see if you can help others. If you cannot help others, I guess you can practice Ho'oponopono, either completely or in parts, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. I'll tell you one secret of life, of universe. Have you ever wondered why we have to have painful experiences? Why life has to be peaks and valleys? We can all say, oh, we had karmas, we did something, past action or whatever, but why did we do? Or why we have to bear the results of our actions, good or bad? And we typically complain about bad, so let's focus on bad side. And you will see why I'm talking about Ho'oponopono. At least one portion of that is repentance. We taking ownership of our actions, but feeling the pain that caused someone else or we cause in someone else's life. Trust me, and we probably will have one meeting on specific meeting on karma. Unless we have that repentance, or unless we go through that pain ourselves, that karma is not finished. Because the whole idea of that karma is to make you aware. So rather than waiting for those experiences to come, those painful things to come, try to actually feel the pain. See where you were wrong, what impact or negative impact it had on other people, and ask for sorry. Asking for sorry is not a bad thing. Many times we don't know we made mistakes because our attention is very limited. If you can say sorry, that is, without realizing that you have made a mistake, that can help you quite a lot. So, if you cannot help others, practice Ho'oponopono. Very importantly, being sorry for what you are or being thankful for what you have. or expressing your love for everything in this universe. So if you cannot practice Ho'oponopono, and I'm good getting deeper and deeper in this because many people say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. So if you can't meditate, you can't help others, you can't practice Ho'oponopono, then you either fight with God or make a peace. God or creator, whoever you want to consider, however you want to call it. The other way of describing that would be either surrender or be a rebel. Either have faith, that is what I started with, dare to dream and have trust or faith. So either surrender and have a faith, or say I'm not gonna accept anything and create my own destiny. By the way, I did that when I lost my mother. From religious, I became agnostic, and I took the destiny in on my own hands, even though I know that everything is something that I don't control. But I made a promise to myself that I'm not gonna pray anymore. If prayer is not going to be accepted, or my faith is not going to give me something that I'm looking for, what is the logic in being or following that? And I'm not saying you don't follow religion or you fight with God or whatever. Just remember that in the universal context, whether you fight with God or you surrender or creator, let's say, universe is not going to take it anything against you. Like you being a parent will not take anything against your kids if they don't agree with you. You will still consider for you care for them and consider things based on what is good for them. If we such tiny little human with so much of uh, ignorance and not having complete understanding about ourselves, forget about the universe, can take such decision, how about the creator who has created everyone? Being rebellious or being surrender or being amicable are the outcome of what you go through. They are the reactions that are created in human nature. So if you cannot do Ho'oponopono as well, you can either find faith or find your own way. And finally, remember that you have to take action reaching a threshold of parish sulking. You will be forced to take action. Either when you reach a threshold of that pain, or you will not see the light. So when you have to reach that threshold and not see the light, why not take actions? Why not try and fail rather than not trying and failing? Again, if you do something, you might fail, but if you don't do, you will fail. Isn't might a better probability than will? Just remember that. Some bonus items. Just remember one thing, when you help yourself, and I'm not talking about helping someone else, something like meditation, something where you try to understand who you are, try to go deeper, help arrives from spiritual world. I can assure you that. Help is waiting actually. We think that we are looking for help. On the contrary, spiritual world is looking to help, but we don't make ourselves eligible enough to consider that help. They are telling things what we need to do, how we need to do, but we are not able to hear, understand them. Why do you think you start or someone start feeling differently, start doing things differently, start processing information differently when they meditate, when they spend time with nature? Why all of that happens? Why a person become more intuitive? Why you suddenly start getting different ideas, new ideas, or some information you never thought existed before? Because we create our own world. People, materialistic things, and we try to stay within that. And what we created with boundaries, we only expose ourselves to that. In order to expose ourselves to something else, either we have to physically change something or spiritually or mentally change something. But when you do that, just remember help is there for everyone, everyone. It's not that you have to ask for help. I can assure you that as well. You don't even have to ask for help. You will get help. And just remember, we need to create capacity before we can hold something. If we don't have capacity, even though things are given to us, we can't hold that. That will go waste.